back. Still continuing with Myanmar, as Myanmar Commerce Ministry officials are in talk with their Bangladeshi counterpart to boost trade between the two countries, which includes the establishment of a bilateral trade commission. The ministers discussed salt exports from Myanmar, include increasing airline and shipping links and encouraging more cooperation between government staff and business people in the two countries. Myanmar formed its first bilateral trade commission with Thailand and its second with Vietnam. The trade commission with Bangladesh is its third. It has also signed trade agreements with Bangladesh, China, India, Laos, Myanmar, Pakistan, the Philippines, South Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. And trade between Myanmar and Bangladesh totaled $84.81 million in the last fiscal year.
We are still on the development of Myanmar, as trade at border towns along Myanmar's border with China, India, and Thailand has already surpassed the total of last fiscal year, according to the Border Trade Department. Border trade has already topped $3.4 billion for this fiscal year ending this month, compared to $3.3 billion for the last fiscal year. The busiest border trading towns are along the border with China and Thailand, with the former comprising the largest share of trade. As of March 8, trade through the four trading towns along the border with China was $2.9 billion, or about 83% of the total border trade for this fiscal year. The conflict in Kachin State resulted in a reduction of trade at Mills and Ganpitik, but this was more offset by rises in trade at Lychee and Chin Chaw Hall. The 6 trade points along the border with Thailand saw at least $515 million worth of trade. Officials said that the rise in trade is a result of a crackdown on illegal trade, and border trade will rise further if the department prevents illegal export of jade and logs to China.
Continuing with another issue, as a Swiss International Development Agency has teamed up with the Mekong Institute to change the persistent patterns of inequality and poverty in rural communities in the greater Mekong sub-region. An agreement was signed yesterday here between the Swiss Agency of International Development and Cooperation, or SDC, and the Mekong Institute to mark the launch of the first phase of partnership for development along the so-called East-West Economic Corridor, as a broad strip of land running west from the port of Da Nang in Vietnam through Laos and Thailand and to the port of Molamang in Myanmar. The project phase amounting to over $3.5 million, which will run until the end of 2015, focusing on capacity development for more inclusive and equitable growth in the sub-region. Over the past decades, the Greater Mekong sub-region has experienced rapid economic growth. Comprehensive infrastructure projects in 3 economic corridors have enabled increased trade volumes, both within and across national boundaries. However, economic and social development has remained centered around the traditional hubs of urban trade and production, while poverty in rural areas has continued virtually unchecked.
The trade turnover between the Ukraine and Vietnam reached at least $313 million in 2012, which is increasing by 4.5% compared to 2011. Vietnam's export earnings from the Ukraine hit $221 million, which is up 13.6%. 30% of the figure was from seafood, garments, pepper, footwear, cashew nuts, and rice. However, its import fell 12.2% compared to the previous year to $92 million, with 70% focusing on iron and steel, machinery, equipment and spare parts, means of transport, chemicals, and fertilizer. To raise exports, experts said Vietnamese businesses need to boost trade promotion, expand markets, reduce exports of raw materials, and increase exports of processed products.
And now to catch up with the gold market, on the line with us is Khun Thippan Nawatwatanasap, the CEO of YLG Bullion and Futures. Good evening and welcome to our program, Khun Thippan.
Welcome to our program, Khun Thippan.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Khun Thippan, can you give us the latest trend of the gold prices of this week?
This week, the gold price has been moving up a lot to the level above 1,600 US dollars per troy ounce. And the major reasons that the gold price has shoot up because right now it has been considered as a safe haven asset as well as the currency yen. And that's because of the Cyprus crisis that make people moving the investment to gold. And as you can see that since the beginning of this week, there is a drop in the stock market and also the oil price, but then there is an increasing in the investment in the gold price. And then until now, the gold price still able to hold above 1,600 US dollars per troy ounce. But then for tonight, we still have to wait for the announcement of the Fed that they will have a meeting tonight at around like 1 a.m. tomorrow early morning. So we have to wait for that whether they will continue the quantitative easing or not, or they will change their monetary policy. But then if they still continue the QE, then we believe that the gold price should be able to shoot up higher for this week.
Right, Kuntipa. What about the global factors such as Cyprus' upcoming vote on a levy on bank deposits? How does this affect the gold investment, and are there any other factors to watch out for?
Right now, because of the Cyprus upcoming problems, so there is a movement from the investment into the gold price. As you can see that euro dropped a lot, but recently there is some announcement that Cyprus Parliament they reject the offer from the IMF. So we still have to wait and see whether like how they're gonna cope their own debt problems. Otherwise, like they will face the bankruptcy problems, and then the gold price would go up a lot higher if Cyprus has to leave from EU.
Right. Now, we're also having another issue of the baht appreciation. Is that affecting the gold trading in Thailand at all?
Yeah, this one is also one of the major factors that we all have to monitor right now, because this year the gold price, the Thai baht has been strengthened a lot. Like if we see from the beginning of the year until now, it has been strengthened for more than 6%. But then if we have a look at the world gold price, it has been reduced around 3%. However, if we have a look in the Thai gold price, in total, it's been decreased for 8%. So the measures of the decrease of the Thai gold price is because of the Thai baht.
Right.
So that's why, like, if the investor want to invest in gold price, but in the short term, then Thai baht will become like one of the major factors, because like we can see that the world gold price increased only $5 or $10 per ounce per day, but then for Thai baht it's been strengthened like within 1 day it's been strengthened a lot.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, Kuntipa, for your outlook tonight.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Kuntipa. We'll take a short break and we will be right back with more regional news as Laos is considering an entry single visa. That and more stories are coming up right after the break.